What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug and welcome back to WWE SmackDown. Here comes the Fiend. Let's hop back in here after an unfortunate meeting with Brock Lesnar yesterday. I beat Devon, and now we're going to move around backstage and see who. Nope, there's nobody. So, empty, and the GM, I could go to Raw because the Fiend is on Raw right now, but we'll hold off on that just for a moment and see if I am booked on this card on SmackDown, as I should be, but, you know, we'll see on that. Yes! No, wait, that's not me. Attackslug versus Shelton Benjamin for the Cruiserweight Championship. Also, Goldust, Matt Hardy, Charlie Haas, and a six-man tag. The Fiend is not booked on SmackDown. What are you doing? So, Attackslug beats Shelton Benjamin. Goldust beats Matt Hardy and Charlie Haas. And the team of Brock Lesnar, The Big Show, and John Cena beats Eddie, Chavo, and Kurt Angle, as you would think they would. Brock, Big Show, Cena, come on. You can't just not book the Fiend. Oh man, Peoria, Illinois. I used to live there. I have been inside the Peoria Civic Center. Okay, so I do want to double check here who is currently champions of where they are. Alright, Attackslug, WWE champion. Batista, World Heavyweights. Eddie and Chavo are tag champs. Evolution are tag champs. The Rock is the IC champ. Kurt Angle is the US champ. Attackslug is also Cruiserweight champ. Sluggy 2 belts. Jericho is the Hardcore champ. And Victoria, not the lady to mess with, is the women's champion. So, again, is there anybody here? Oh, I could talk with the Deadman. Fancy that, as we're going to get into some Raw business here, since it is Tuesday here on the program. Big Evil. The Fiend. I know you're extreme, and you live for the moment. Am I Jeff Hardy? What's going on here? What I'm asking you now, son, is are you ready to die in that same moment? Not necessarily him. What I'm saying is, we can do this the easy way, where I smack you around like the loser you are. Then you show me the proper respect, and I let you walk away. Or I can hunt you down. I will inflict more pain on you than you thought was physically possible. Look, I'm the Fiend. I'll make you suffer. So what I want to know is, what's it going to be, tough guy? The easy way or the hard way? Be defiant. Him. You got a lot of guts. Gonna hunt you down and put a beating on you, boy. And now we get a one-on-one match, regular, against the Deadman. So look, man, I'll take it. We'll do it. Let's go. Put me on the card. Give me matches. The Fiend versus the Deadman. Dead Fiend walking. You don't it now. Welcome to a fine Tuesday here on this program. Obviously, Raw was last night and plenty of things to discuss on the road to Survivor Series. We had some qualifying matches for the Raw team and one for the ladies, but we opened up with McIntyre and being, you know, kind of mad that he lost his belt last night at Hell in the Cell, or the night before last night. And out comes The Miz, the new Mr. Money in the Bank. He even mentioned the Angry Miz Girl. Fantastic. History. Connections. Love it. Now, the first qualifying match here we had was AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy, and AJ advances, and guess what? Here's Elias. And that flip-flop later on with Keith Lee versus Elias. Oh, here's Jeff Hardy, and Keith Lee qualifies. But more importantly, the Firefly Funhouse featuring Miss Alexa Bliss. And it was very much an Alice in Wonderland themed deal with the Mad Hatter thing and all that, right? And the tea, and they killed the rabbit. But importantly, Bray Wyatt had the hat on, and the hat had 1119 on it. And I know Bray said that has many meanings, but most folks are going to say that was the debut of Taker, right? That was his debut at Survivor Series 30 years ago. So, are we going to see, because we already know that your champion Randy Orton will fight Roman Reigns, because they're doing the Raw vs. SmackDown, but no NXT stuff at this show, right? That means that the Fiend is open for something. Could he interact in a kind of cinematic match with the Deadman for 11-19. Could that happen this year at the show? But yes, it will be champions versus champions, how they always used to do it. And you will still have your usual 5-on-5 traditional match, right? And all of that goodness. But, yeah, having that number on his hat, you're like, oh man, is it because of the Deadman? Is that going to be the thing here with the Fiend at that show? Boom! Chops and chops and chops and a pinfall! No, I'm sorry. A catapult onto the Deadman. And slowly getting up is the Fiend. Yeah, no! Wait, what was that? Pump handle! Woo! Dropping him. So, besides that, they announced Randy Orton for the Moment of Bliss later on in the evening, which, alright, sure. And Randy is always right to the point. He's like, alright, where's Bray Wyatt? Where's the Fiend? Because if anybody is going to be a target for the Fiend, if anybody has wronged the Fiend in the past, alright, if anything, it's Randy's fault we have the Fiend in the first place. So, retribution is coming, no pun intended, for Mr. Randall Keith Orton at some point. I would perhaps imagine TLC, which is after, in December, but again, we shall see. But speaking of those traditional elimination matches, we had Hurt Business taking on Retribution in this never-ending, I don't know what they're doing with them thing. It's okay. You've managed to bury this whole thing over the course of this summer. Whatever. And the Hurt Business wins by DQ. The last elimination was a freaking DQ from Mustafa Ali with a chair. So I guess the thing continues. I don't freaking know. Taker with the big boot. Vintage Deadman against the Fiendy boy. And Taker here is giving me a fight. Giving me a fight. Not as much of a fight as oh my god, he locked it in, as Brock Lesnar, but giving me a fight nonetheless. Those soup bones! Those, I'm trying to reverse, and it's not going well, as you might imagine. Oh my god. Spine on the pan from the Deadman, who now picks me up slowly and ever so steadfastly. Anyhow, old school now. Just by the arm. Okay, moving on. Taker to the top. Gonna fly and sinks that elbow deep. But the Fiend goes low because he is fiendish. Because he is fiendish. Powerbomb on the Deadman. Get up, Deadman, and get ready to get wrecked by the Fiend. That's right. It's time. Mandible claw right into his... Yeah. All right. Sure. And then pin. Mandible claw and then pin. And a 1 count. Taker out at 1. What the hell in a cell was that? Now, we had McIntyre and Miz in a singles match, and McIntyre wins that because, of course, he does. They announced 4 of the women's team for the pay-per-view, and that will be Nia, Shayna, Dana, and Mandy, because we know Asuka is going to be facing Sasha Banks, because it's champion versus champion. And man, I wish we had NXT here, because we could have had Sasha versus Asuka versus Io, and man, think of that match happening. Good God almighty. But Taker here going to get a finish, because of course he will. Oh, he didn't like that at all. He didn't like that at all. Don't disrespect Big Evil. Don't do it. It's just bad news. It's just bad news. But the Fiend has no fear of the Deadman. You darn it now. So, we had a 5th member of that team for the ladies, and she had to qualify. So between Alana, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross. Also, P.S. Nikki Cross, what was that new theme song? That does not fit her at all. I understand. You're getting rid of all the CFO themes. I get it. But good God, that was... No. Does not fit. What are you doing? It was terrible. Please change it. Oh my God. Like, give me anything else besides what that was. Because what the hell? I don't know. Work the leg. And get my finisher again. Do it, Fiendy. There we go. Alright. Taker. Oh, reversed it. No! I had a second finisher. The choke slam. Straight to hell goes the Fiend. And Taker gonna pin. Can I get one count? Fiendy boy. There. Twisting. Complete shots on the Deadman, who will show me the proper respect deserved to the Fiend. That's right. Taunt. And of those four ladies, wouldn't you know who won the pony? It was Lana. So it's going to be Nia, Shayna, Dana, Mandy, and Lana is Team Raw. And of course, Lana goes through a table for the 6th time, which to me is all going to set up for something happening in the match itself, where at some point in that match, Lana's going to piss off Nia. And at some point in that match, Lana's going to go through that table, but not get eliminated, and then somehow win that match for Team Raw. I'm calling it now. We'll see how it goes. Okay, tag team match. Big Show, John Cena versus Chavo and Rey. And Big Show and John Cena win. Of course they would. That's heavyweights versus cruiserweights. Come on now. But Eddie versus attackslug in a singles match. It's going to be attackslug once again. Even not being in control of myself, I'm doing pretty well here on SmackDown. But can the Fiend beat up me? I guess that's the goal. Maybe. We'll see. But it's time for Backlash in Kansas City, Missouri. Who is here at Backlash? Am I on the card? I'm going to say probably not, but can I get into some backstage shenanigans? I would say potentially. But there's nobody backstage to have shenanigans with, and that sucks. Talk to the GM. Stephanie? My husband, Triple H. I want a shot. You want a shot at the belt, do you? Here are the belts you can challenge for. No. The Fiend does not need nor desire a tag team partner. What's on Backlash on this card, on this show? I'm going to guess not me. Nope. But attackslug fighting Brock, so that's the thing. Alright, so Victoria versus Jazz. And still, women's champion Victoria. Eddie and Chyna versus the world's greatest tag team. And new tag team champions Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. And can me, attackslug, defend against Brock Lesnar? Yes! Attackslug beats Lesnar. I don't know how, but it happened. And I'm still champion. Awesome. Fantastic. The Fiend is coming for me. Coachman. What do you want, Coach? JR wanted me to ask you something, Fiendy. Sauce it. Do you have any interest in getting a manager? Sure. He has Alexa right now, so yeah, that makes sense. There are a number of divas who are willing to do the job. Decide to have a manager. I thought so. Who do you have in mind? Alexa Bliss, who's not in this game. Tori, and I don't have any other options besides Tori. That's funny. I mean, she's blonde, Alexa is blonde, it all works out. It's fine, right? Okay then, I'll go and inform good old JR about that. Run! And that, my friends, was Backlash. And before I peace out for today's video, Sheamus also qualified. It was Matt Riddle versus Sheamus, and Sheamus qualifies for the team? Sure, alright. And then your main event segment, we had Bliss, we had Randy, out came Drew, out came The Fiend, as you might expect he would. And it's a good bit of story here that Randy would rather run into a very angry Scottish psychopath than turn around and face The Fiend. He knows what he did. He burned it down. So, I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. I'll see you next time. And I'm out.